Hello everybody, Intuition here. Thank you as always for making time and space for us. Today we want to talk about the idea of bliss and what it really means based off of our understanding. So usually for many individuals, in order to get to bliss, the first thing that you have to check off is love. You have to be in love to get into bliss. I'm in love with myself, I'm in love with this present moment, I am in love with my significant other, I am in love with this inanimate object, I am in love, 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 and therefore from love I am able to transcend into bliss. But love in and of itself is a lower density understanding of what it is that we really experience back at home, where it is that we come from. If you listen to the words and the terminology of love, it's I fell into love. I am falling in love. You fall into it, which means you're falling. Falling means you're going down, which means you're moving down in density. I'm falling in love. You don't fall up into love, you fall down into love, which means then therefore if you're listening to what it is that's being said, that you are not in your complete state of consciousness. You are now moving more out of yourself in order to be in love, to fall in love. So we do not recommend falling anywhere. That is what got us here to begin with. That is what has taken us away from the home in which we actually come from, is falling. And you want to fall further into love now. So love is not all that it's cracked up to be. Love usually, for many of us, takes us away from our understanding of all it is that we actually can enter into in our relationships with another, with ourselves, with an inanimate object, with whatever it is that we say that we want to love and are loving. It is taking us away, and it is a lower density understanding from what it is that we actually can be experiencing, which transcends love, bliss, blah, 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 blah. So, then therefore, if love is a lower density, if love is taking you away from all it is that you are and putting you further out of balance, then bliss is the other extreme of that. Bliss further takes you into an illusion, because love in and of itself is an illusion. Not to say that love isn't real, but love is not really what it is that we're after to begin with. We are not wanting to be in love, to fall in love. What it is that we're wanting to do is to evolve. We want to evolve with our significant other. We want to evolve within ourselves. We want to evolve with that inanimate object that we say that we love. That is more transcendent, more meaningful than falling in love. And then therefore that creates a different processing of the questions, in which would then therefore allow you to engage with a human being, yourself, in a different way. If I'm just looking to be in love, then that doesn't really require much. But if I'm looking to evolve with somebody, then I have to have more of a sense of myself and a grounding within myself, an understanding within myself, a recentering within myself, a balance within myself, in order for then therefore to include another human being in that stasis, so that we could move forward in our own evolution and create something much more transcendent than love. So if love is the neutrality, which it is not, but let us just say that, if love is here, then evolution is over here, more towards where it is that we want to go. And then therefore bliss is all the way over here. Because bliss puts you further into an illusion, based off of how we understand it. And again, most people that are talking about bliss are not the individuals that are actually experiencing bliss. We hear bliss from a secondhand experience. We hear bliss not from the people that are blissed out, but from the people that were around that individual that happened to be in a state of bliss at that time, and then therefore they recount their experience that they thought they were seeing at that moment when somebody else was in bliss. I don't want to hear what your experience was when you did not experience that of bliss. You do not know. You were just recounting your perspective based off of what it is that you think you saw. And then therefore sharing that with everybody else, which is creating misinformation, which does not allow for the actual experience of bliss to be. Because bliss, again, would be more times than not coming from a space of love. And if it is coming from a space of love, then you are already in a lower dimensionality of understanding, because you have your love goggles on. And if you have your bliss goggles on, forget it. You might as well have just closed your eyes, because it takes you farther out of the illusion, or it takes you farther into an illusion and farther out of reality. And that is not to say that you sit in reality and you be cynical and sad and upset. It is quite the opposite, because what comes after bliss? We don't know either. Nothing happens after bliss. You go from love to bliss, and then that's it. What do? Levitate? You start levitating, and then you levitate, and then where do you go then? You're still locked up in this prison that we all created for ourselves, so what now? Bliss does not take you any farther. However, if you go the other route, right? If you go from love to evolution, then you continue to evolve, you continue to move. There is a continuous movement. You continue to expand and understand that of yourself and understand all it is that you are, which puts you in a resonance, which far transcends bliss. A resonance and a reconnaissance of all it is that you are and all it is that you can be and all it is that you ever would have been if you weren't sitting in bliss. So we say this to dispel the illusion of the words that get us stuck in certain ideas that do not allow us the full momentum that would enable us to grow. Because if you go from love then to bliss, then where are you going next? We would love to know. We would love to know. So, if you disagree, if you or yourself have experienced bliss and that has enabled you to transcend the mortal coil, then tell us. Let us know. Share your insights. However, based off of how we understand bliss to be, you don't really go that far, because bliss in and of itself is a state. You could say, well, if I experience bliss, then I'm evolving, aren't I? We don't see how. Because again, bliss is a state of being. Evolution is being. So then therefore, to evolve, you have to move out of that state of bliss. You are not evolving when you are in bliss. You are staying very, very much put. You are staying locked onto this idea, locked onto a feeling that then therefore does not allow for the movement of evolution to actually reach you. It allows you to stay very stuck in a stagnant place, in a happy, feels good place, but that place is non-sustainable because we all at some point must move. We all at some point must evolve. And therefore, if you're sitting in a state of bliss, you're gonna miss the movement. Literally and figuratively. So, bliss is not all it's cracked up to be. We do not recommend it, but who are we to tell you, another universal principality, how to live your life? You want to be blissed out, then go bliss off. We'll be busy evolving into all it is that we can be, and we hope to see you there. But we won't be seeing you if you're in a state of bliss. We haven't been there in a very long time, because we like to move, like many of you do. So do not get caught up in the minutia and the nonsense and the words and the spells that words like to hold many of us in. Do not get lost in the definitions that have no meaning, because bliss is meaningless. It does not get you terribly far. As always, we thank you for making time and space for us, and we wish you well in your bliss, in your love, in your evolution, in your stasis, in your stagnancy, whatever it is that you're choosing to do. It is valid, and we're full of gratitude for you.